Hello and welcome to the Hewman Show. My name's Mike, I am your host, and joining me today I have loads of people. It seems to vary, sometimes I go with like me and JJ. JJ's here, hello JJ.
Hi.
And then we've got Hannah.
Hello.
Neil.
Hi.
Take your time. And then a new phrase, we've got Joe. Hey Joe.
Hello there.
Joe is a YouTube Let's Play type fellow. You can find him at youtube.com/theafrojoe with a W at the end instead of an E.
You know I gotta be original somehow.
Yeah, that's the only way.
It was actually a typo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the same with me.
Wow.
Hewlett normally has an E in it, but I put an I, and everyone always gives me shit for it. So there we go. So, first part of the show, we normally talk about what we've been up to over the past week or so since we spoke. We've never spoken to Joe before, so Joe, what have you been up to since the beginning of your life in terms of gaming, or just generally anything cool?
Since the beginning of my life? That's
Yeah.
Just
a long lifespan.
Oh, it is? Okay, maybe just the past week then. I didn't think it would be that long.
Okay, well, I recently bought a Wii U because I was too poor for any other next-gen console. And I decided to play Earthbound because it was a game I played as a kid, but I never really finished it.
What is Earthbound? I don't actually...
It's like a JRPG for the Super Nintendo, and it was just like really weird and wacky. If you've played Super Smash Brothers, Ness is the main character in it.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Oh
And
yeah.
I finally beat it, and the ending made me cry.
Yeah. That's the best kind of game in my opinion.
Because I could never beat it as a kid. I never owned it, so when you tried to play it through other means, it would just delete your save file at the end of the boss battles, and it just wouldn't let you beat it that way.
So you this is not a new game then, is it? The old version that you're playing?
Yeah, but it was really hard to find, so they finally put it on the virtual console
thing, yeah.
on the Wii. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. How does that? So that's I used to have a Wii U, but I honestly I didn't play it. Well, Hannah and I used to have a Wii U, but we didn't play it for a good few months, so we got rid of it. But the virtual console was something that came out after we got rid of our Wii U. Sorry. Like what? Is every single old title or most of them on there? Can you get all the golden games that everyone loves from the original Nintendo consoles, or is it pretty limited at the moment?
It's really limited. Like, the virtual thing on the Wii is way bigger than the library on the Wii U. The Wii U only had maybe 12 titles, and most of them I didn't care about.
That sucks.
Oh.
You think? I always thought that Nintendo should do that kind of thing, but on PC. Like they should release some sort of virtual console for the PC. I think because everyone's already
That would be good,
downloading.
yeah.
Everyone's already downloading ROMs anyway. If they released something that they
Yeah.
could sell it for cheap that was guaranteed to work really well, I think they'd make a freaking
Yeah.
killing.
Most likely.
Yeah. Anything else going on the Wii U
definitely
that's good to talk about?
On the Wii U, well, there's Pikmin 3, I guess. I
Oh, yeah.
bought that one too.
And that's
It's alright.
it's all
I thought
right.
that one's really good.
Pikmin.
Yeah, like, it's really good, but I have this complex where, like, I need to do everything, and because the game only lets you do so much in a certain day, I keep going back, trying to do better and better, so
User in your channel timed out.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay. So,
User
That's
entered
it.
your channel.
Oh, God damn it, his internet. Carry on, sorry.
so, I've played for maybe 20 hours, but I'm only 2 days in because I keep going back trying to do better.
Yeah?
It's not good for a guy like me.
No, got that 100% complete, you need that.
Oh yeah. On the PlayStation 3, I can't go to a new game until I platinum the game I'm currently playing.
Wow, that is commitment.
That would. I would never be able to do that. I've never 100% a game. I don't think.
I can't think of a game I've ever 100% did either. You are...
Apparently, you know the Avatar game on
Oh yeah,
Xbox?
everyone used to get that for the achievements, didn't they?
Apparently you get 1,000 in like a few minutes.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
that's ridiculous.
I might rent it from work just to get 1,000.
But why? Like, getting gamer score, why is it so important when...
Oh,
I feel that getting gamer score should be like a proof of how good you are at games or how good you are at certain games, and the fact that you can play that game for an hour and get 1,000 game score, I think is just a bad way of like a
But
bad.
it's not many games that you can do that. It's just that one.
Fair enough.
Right.
What else
Most
is-
games you do have to put a lot of time into.
Yeah, that's true. What else has been going on for you, Joe?
Currently playing Dark Souls some more.
Oh, yeah?
I was trying to do a no death run, but I ended up dying 5 times at the very end of the game, which made me upset.
I can't imagine. At least your character didn't get deleted, so you could still actually finish it if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
That'd be.
So there's that plus.
But that's pretty impressive that you got all the way to the end before you died.
Yeah, and like all my deaths came from stupid reasons, so.
There's stupid reasons you got a bit cocky and you just hate yourself for
Oh yeah,
getting into that position. That sucks.
that's how they get you.
It is, isn't it?
Right, I challenge you to start again.
Challenge accepted.
Oh no, Neil! Look what you've done.
I'm sorry.
Dark Souls 2 comes out in March, so I just want to be prepared for it.
I've watched a few of your videos on Dark Souls, and it has made me, because I don't like games where I want to rip my hair out because they're so difficult. But having watched a
Yeah.
few of your videos, actually, it made me rethink of that, because it does look fun and difficult. And seeing some of
It
your
is.
videos where you're showing a few little exploits also seems quite cool. You've got, or not exploits, but little hidden areas. So it's fun finding
Yeah.
little hidden areas.
It really is.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Who else?
I've been looking up
go on.
this Earthbound game because I've never heard of it, and I'm on the Nintendo. It's earthbound.nintendo.com,
Okay.
and it's got some characters at the bottom, and there's 4 characters. It says there's Ness even,
Yeah.
Paula, Jeff, and a
And
guy
Pooh.
named Pooh.
Pooh? That's a brilliant name.
Yes, he's like a ninja kind of looking guy.
In the actual game, you can name all the characters, so a lot of people don't name him Pooh,
Oh,
but that's his actual name.
Poor guy,
That's
his
brilliant.
parents don't love him. I wonder what that means. I mean, that will probably mean something in Japanese that we're all completely overlooking.
That's probably still Pooh.
Nintendo are just trolling everyone. So who's next? What else has everyone else been up to? What's to
I haven't really played much Minecraft.
play some Minecraft?
I've basically got back into Minecraft for the last couple of weeks.
As I say, I think every single time we've done a podcast for the past couple of weeks, you go, "I've got back into Minecraft." Actually,
Yeah. Yeah. And Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Have you completed that yet?
Not yet, no.
Where, like, I've heard really good
Uh,
things, like really good things.
I do like it. It is good, yeah. It's I don't really know why I stopped playing it. Like when I do, because I've got things to do.
You have to go outside sometimes.
Yeah.
What a
So it's
loser.
I know, right? But I like it. It's fun.
Yeah? Would you recommend it to someone who's only ever played the first Assassin's Creed game?
Yes.
So I should get that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the first Assassin's Creed game was awful.
Lots of people didn't like it, but I didn't mind it.
I remember I
When
played
you,
it.
when you play the other games, the other Assassin's Creed games, you realise it wasn't that good.
I was about to say,
But
I
when
remember
you've
going
only
around.
just played that one, it's not
I remember
bad.
going around your house when we were kids, Neil, and I remember you had just got it. Like it had been out for a little while, and you had just got it, and I had already played it a fair bit, and you were trying to convince me that it was an amazing game. And I was like, I got bored. And then I remember a little while later, you were like, yeah, it got pretty boring.
Yeah, it's very repetitive, but like once you complete it and you play the next one, and all the ones after are really decent.
I just want the boat.
The second one I didn't like.
The second.
I really did like the second one.
The second, because they changed like the moving mechanic, didn't they? It was a lot different to the first one. The way
But
your
the
character
story
moved.
was so much better.
Isn't there some? I don't want to give anything away, but there's some huge twist that happens.
Oh yeah, he blows himself up with a grenade at the end.
Absolutely, there you go. No. Maybe I'll mention this off air because I don't want to, like when we're not recording. But
Okay.
I remember hearing about some massive twist, and I want to know if anyone here knows anything about it. But I'll mention that after the show because I don't
Okay.
want to spoil
Well,
it for
now
people. that listen.
which world is that in? Is that in the IRL world or the?
In the IRL world, in the real
Yes.
world.
I might know what you're talking about.
Well, we'll find out.
We will.
So,
Oh,
Assassin's
I
Creed and
know what you're talking
Minecraft. Nothing else.
Pretty much.
You and I played a game for like 3 hours the other day together, but you don't remember that,
Oh
do you?
yeah, we played that game, didn't we?
What game?
Where was my invite?
Oh, Neil, you were there actually.
No, I wasn't.
JJ, what game was it?
Rust.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Minecraft.
No. Rust.
What was that?
We played some Rust. What is Rust, JJ? We spoke about Rust last week. Hang on, Joe, you got a bit of background noise coming from your mic, mate.
Yeah, sorry. That was me trying to adjust myself.
Okay, that's cool. But yeah, Rust. Do you like Rust, JJ?
I did like it.
Did like it.
I think I like it more when it's finished.
Yeah, when there's a bit more to do. It got a bit boring, bit quick.
Yes.
They
There were
reset the
lots of-
server, JJ.
The one we were on, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There were
It's
some
still
nice
an alpha,
people
isn't
though.
it?
Yeah.
We now live in
Yeah.
your house area.
Have you
That's
ever
fine,
played
I-
Rust, Joe?
I have not. No, I've never even played Assassin's Creed.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. You seem to
What?
be... is Dark Souls like a Japanese game?
It is, but
So-
they made it with like a Western feel to it.
Yeah, I thought it seemed a bit Western, but also quite Eastern. So you seem to be the kind of guy that likes a lot of Japanese games. Is that a fair assumption?
I do, but I do enjoy games from the West. Like, I really like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I just never really got to Assassin's Creed.
Fair enough.
Well, that's your next game then, I guess.
Is it? Which one would you guys recommend first?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
I think
I challenge you to complete them all in a week.
I've heard a lot without dying.
Challenge accepted.
I've heard a lot. I've heard that number 4 is like a huge, amazing game changer for the series.
Is that the
Yes.
one on the ship?
That's the
Yeah,
latest one with the
pirates.
ships.
But I never
Okay.
did 3, but I heard 3 was really bad.
I bought 3.
3 was good. That's the one with that's the
Connor, it is
yes,
time.
the guy that sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Watched the
3.
movie with
I bought
Arnold
3, but I haven't
Schwarzenegger
played it.
recently.
I actually tried playing 3, and then after hours of trying to get Uplay to work, when I finally got it to work, I didn't want to play anymore. You watched a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. I guess we're talking about what Neil's been up to. Neil, what have you been up to?
No, you mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I did, but
so
seriously, what movie with Arnie?
It was Escape Plan.
Nope, never heard of it.
It's a new movie with Sylvester Stallone in it as well.
Oh, is that what they? But they only make like a cameo in it, doesn't he? Not a full.
No, he's a really big part in it.
Really?
Yeah, he's like the second main character.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for him.
It was alright, the movie. I still don't think he's a great actor.
He was never picked for being a great actor, though, was he? He was picked because he
No.
was a huge, massive dude. Same with Sylvester Stallone. You can't understand anything he says.
Yeah, I know. He's like, oh, it's weird. His like mouth's like.
It's because
like
half
closed.
his face is paralyzed.
Is
Is
it?
it really?
Yeah, I remember reading
That-
about something. It's something to do with the way he was born. He was born with half his face paralyzed.
I thought he just got loads of like plastic surgery.
No, man, he's always been like that.
I don't
Oh,
think
good
I
on
know
him.
who you're talking about.
Sylvester Stallone, the guy from Rambo and Rocky.
Rocky.
He was born
Never
with
seen
Botox.
either.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll recognise him if I showed you a picture. Someone link her a picture.
I'm thinking of a movie that's really new, and it's about. I don't know if this is the movie that you're talking about, but.
2 Old
they're-
Boxers.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he's that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what one you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
It's
my
really
Sylvester
good.
Stallone impression. I think my Arnie impression's a bit stronger, but I'm pretty proud of that. There's a picture of Sylvester Stallone. He doesn't actually look that bad there, does he?
He doesn't.
Good for him.
No, he looks alright there. Well done.
Yeah, he's trying hard.
It's like he's a millionaire and has loads of people to put makeup on him and stuff.
I don't sound really mean though, but if half his face is paralyzed, how can he move his eye?
Well, I mean, I assume, like, I could be completely wrong.
And how
No,
is he
his
smiling?
face is stuck like that. He always smiles like that. He doesn't really have a facial expression.
But, like,
No,
half his
that's
mouth
not
doesn't
true.
move when he talks, kind of thing.
Nah, he
Maybe
looks
he
fine.
has a weak muscle in his like
You know, none of us are
lip or
doctors,
something.
Hey.
but I
His
think
his tie could have been done up better in that picture.
this is... Welcome to Golden Globes fashion discussion. That picture's not even from the Golden Globes. It's from the Festival de Venise. According to
Yeah,
the
I
URL.
didn't-
Important
Yeah, you're
that
right,
guys
actually.
get their ties done correctly.
Fucking Italy. Oh, it does, isn't it? Yeah, it's like Pinot. Anyway, what have you been playing, Neil?
This isn't good for a podcast because no one can see the picture.
Nobody can see the picture. I'll show the picture
hold
on
on.
the YouTube video if you're watching it on
It's a
YouTube.
dog.
Yeah,
And,
that's
um,
mine. I'm gonna go stop her.
That's
I'll
fine.
be right back.
Just bring
Yeah,
her on the show.
Just bring her on the show.
We had an 8-year-old, no, like a 4-year-old on the show last week, didn't we?
She came on
She's
after
3.
the end of the show.
Oh,
No, she didn't. Did she? Josh's
don't know.
daughter.
yeah.
Don't remember.
I think I can't remember.
Neil, what's been going on in your life?
Well, I haven't actually played any other game apart from Rust this week.
You're the worst person to have on this podcast.
I'm sorry, but I've just been so addicted that I haven't tried any other game. And well, I haven't done a lot either because I just had an essay to do for university.
That you didn't do.
Um,
I remember. I read your
no.
tweet.
I did it though.
2,400 words due for tomorrow, and I've written 200 or something.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go back to
Nice.
school so I can experience
But
that
I
again.
completed it and I handed it in, and then after that I sort of just chilled out and played more Rust.
Fair enough.
I started
That's
watching
the life.
American
Yeah.
Hustle.
What is it like? What is it about Rust that's kind of keeping you invested? I guess is what I'm looking to say.
I like the whole. I don't know. I like the whole community feel when you're with like a group of people, and you build this base where you can then go out and attack other people and take their stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Daisy is great, right? But Daisy is literally just survive. You see a guy shooting.
I
Don't really build a base, and I like the idea of having a base that you can go home to, store your stuff, and then it can get attacked.
It kind of
And you've
reminds
got
me a
defend
bit of what we used to do on Wasteland, where we would always just build a little, like in Armour Wasteland, the game mode, where
Yeah,
we would.
exactly. That actually reminds me exactly of that, to be honest.
I was thinking if we play Daisy sometime, maybe we'll just hold up in a town, in a house in Cherno or something, and just. That'd be quite fun.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there are vehicles going to be in Rust.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are.
Because there was a car already in the game, and they removed it. But I think it was quite a buggy feature, so they're
Yeah.
probably going
I can
to
imagine.
build on that, and then it'll be quite cool. I mean, the map's fairly big, and it is annoying always running down that field looking forward.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I can imagine that vehicles. The map is 16 kilometers by 16 kilometers. That'll take you a few hours to run from one end to the other if you're a regular person.
I would have liked the idea though, of Rust being a map like Minecraft, where it was randomly generated.
Yeah, I think that like technically speaking, I don't think that requires much more. I think it's more just because they wanted. My view on that would be that they want people to have like landmarks that they know, like in Daisy or Armour in general. Like you know the electro power station, and you know this and you know that. I think the reason, for example, the Dead Linger, a big reason why I'm not hugely into that from the few times JJ and I have played it, is because I just don't feel like I know where I am. Like you play a bit of Daisy and you kind of learn the map and you kind of it just feels so cool just knowing exactly where you're going, and like it's more, I don't know, it just feels more real, the fact that
Yeah,
the
Yeah, you
world
feel
is
like you're part of a world that you recognise, and for
Sorry?
that reason, it's a lot more enjoyable.
on Rust. Oh,
No,
yeah. I said, yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe they will just make it procedure generated. I mean, they have the technology. It's Unity. That's the same engine that.
They would have to
They're
sort
big
out
ones.
the whole spawning though, because on a game which is already hard to find each other, if it was randomly generated, it would just be like hell.
Yeah. Who knows? We'll find out.
We will.
Rust is $20 on Steam. For those interested. Hannah, what have you been up to? No, Neil. Anything else?
No, Hannah, what have you been up to?
Hannah, what have you been up to?
Well, I think I'm the most boring person on this podcast.
I don't know.
because-
Neil's pretty boring.
Well, every
Wow,
time on
Michael.
the podcast, what is my answer?
Dota 2.
Of course. No, League of Legends.
Do you play League
That
of
was
Legends,
also
Joe?
my guess.
You play League of Legends,
I'm
Hannah?
kind of too scared to go into League of Legends. I feel like the community might be a little too harsh for.
That's
little
why.
me.
That's why I had to stop playing, because Hannah was just so like abusive towards me.
She would shout at
Like,
you because
the
you did something wrong.
The community is absolutely terrible on League, and I don't really play with the random people that you get. I only play
Yeah.
against them. But if you've got like a few people that you know who plays it, it's so much more enjoyable, and you just ignore everything that they say because it is horrible.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like, I used to play Dota on the actual Warcraft 3 mod.
Oh wow.
And there was this one incident that made me stop playing MOBA games forever. And that was, I accidentally stole someone's kill, and then I dropped out of the game. But I was still connected on Ventrilo or whatever it was called, so I could still hear them yelling at me, and
That's
there's nothing
horrible.
I could do about it.
That sucks.
Oh man, it was
Yeah,
fun
communities for games, especially around MOBAs. I don't think I've ever met a community that seems like I've not played League of Legends very much, but I've never heard of a community that seems to be so like abusive towards newer players as League of Legends or Dota or other MOBAs. Just everyone seems to just hate everyone else. It's strange.
There are
Yep.
a fair few people that will help, and you there's like no middle ground. You either find a really, really nice person that will help you like learn so much, and then you'll get a really horrible person, but you'll still learn loads about the game, but that's because they've been yelling at you, telling you what not to do anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like both of the spectrum, really. There's no middle grounds.
Well, I'll be steering clear of that, I'm afraid.
I read in October, I can't remember if it was Dota 2 or League of Legends, but they were supposed to put something out for Halloween and they didn't, and the community just went mad.
I think that was Dota 2, yeah.
Dota 2?
I heard about that. It was some. They did a thing last year. My cat's meowing. The door was shut. Sorry. They put something out the year before for Halloween, and everyone got super pissed off when they didn't put it out. This Halloween just gone.
It could have been League because they've got a special map for Halloween that they didn't use this year. That's just gone, and they didn't use last year. The 2 years they haven't done it, but I think everyone got really annoyed with it.
Yeah, people suck.
There's also a snowy map which they have.
The
which
Dota
they
2
didn't
snowy
do.
map. I mean, I've not played it, but I heard that the way it works is the river. It's pretty similar to the League of Legends one for.
Yeah,
Kinda.
it ices over.
It freezes over, so like when your character, when
Yeah.
you tell them to go somewhere, they slide
Yeah,
slightly
yeah,
further.
yeah.
I thought it was just kind of a cool mini little game changer because
Yeah, that's good,
Yeah.
yeah.
if something
no, that's
requires
done on
complete
League as well.
if something requires complete accuracy, then you have that whole, you have to kind of compensate for that. Pretty cool. So just League of Legends, nothing else at all interesting.
Nope.
I'm asking that knowing full well that there is nothing else that you have to report on. What have you been playing, Michael? Well, I'll tell you what I've been playing. I don't know, I haven't really. I started Bioshock 1. At the end of the last
right.
podcast, I said I was going to buy Bioshock 1 and 2 so I could play through them because Bioshock Infinite was such a great game. And then I realised I already owned Bioshock 1 and 2.
Nice.
Typical Michael. So I've started Bioshock 1, and it's really good. Not as good as Infinite. I think I miss the bright colours and sun shining and all that. But what are you gonna do? You're under the water. You can't complain.
Go
too much.
outside.
You can't, I'll drown.
Oh.
I reinstalled Windows on my computer. Well, I didn't. I turned my computer off, and then when I turned it back on, it decided that it was going to wipe everything for some reason. So I now had to download all my games again. But I also got a flight stick, for playing helicopter simulators. So I can play Take on Helicopters, which I got recently in the new Humble Bundle.
Oh.
And it's cool. It's really cool. Like, I feel like I don't suck at flying as much anymore in games like that.
Do you think you could fly a real plane?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'll come to
Then
you.
it's
I'll
done
pick
its
you up.
job.
I'll come pick you up in a plane, Joe, and then we'll fly to England and meet up with these guys.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, now you guys know where I live, because...
Because we randomly guessed.
I'm very good at guessing.
I
It's
mean,
a really good guess.
without going into too much detail, how did you figure that out, Neil? Like,
I just got his IP and searched it. That's it.
Oh no.
I don't know how he did that. He didn't do
that. Please don't DDoS me. No.
I won't. I won't.
But I want to
I can't.
DDoS you so you stop uploading YouTube videos. So then I
Oh,
get all your
man.
subscribers. That's how it works, right?
That's how it
Like,
exactly.
if you kill the king, you become the king.
Pretty much.
Yep.
There we go.
Anyway, going back to the joystick that you have,
Oh, okay.
I've-
Yeah.
I've only ever used one once, and it was on the Simpsons Hit and Run for
Use
PC.
the joystick for Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah.
Did it work?
I could just imagine like 12-year-old Hannah using a joystick for the Simpsons Hit and Run and just not knowing why the fuck it was the worst piece of.
No, it worked really well. But I was wondering if it actually works with racing games in general. Probably.
I've not tried, but I guess I'll try.
But that game though, that is a brilliant game.
Simpsons Hit and Run really is. It's making a comeback as
Yeah.
well. Nerd Cube
Was it really?
played it recently,
Yes,
and everyone's
I
going
saw
crazy
that,
about
yeah.
it.
My favourite game was Simpsons Road Rage.
That was kind of the. I never got Road Rage. I got Hit and Run. I never got Road Rage.
I used to love Road Rage.
Those are the best times.
Of
And the worst of
I
times.
never completed it. I got stuck, and then I found a glitch or something and mucked up my game somehow, and then I lost my save completely. And
The times before patching existed.
Oh.
So yeah,
Oh,
this
bless
joystick's
her.
cool though. I might have to download Simpsons Hit and Run and try it out.
see how far you get with it.
Yeah, definitely. What I might do is I might get like a steering wheel, and like I've got a corner desk, so I could put like the steering wheel one side, joystick the other, and then when I'm playing like Armour with all the realism mods, when I play like Super Simulator mode, I can turn to. You might be able to. Why is my cat meowing? She's on heat. That's why. In heat. Anyway,
Nice.
Whoa,
thanks. Just
on
thought
heat.
you might guys want to know. I could just like turn to use the steering wheel when I'm in a car, and then use the joystick when I'm in a plane or a helicopter. I'm on something here.
You're on something.
I'll be like dyslexia in no time.
Yeah.
Okay. I've not got anything else to share. I bought Spec Ops The Line. I've heard that game makes people cry, so I'm very excited to play it.
You like games that make you cry, don't you?
Yeah, like I said, when Joe said he completed Earthbound, he cried.
You'd like The Last of Us then, bro?
I know what happens, so it wouldn't make me cry.
Oh yeah.
Last of Us DLC coming out.
Ooh.
Comes out Valentine's Day.
Ooh. That's my Valentine's Day sorted.
I'm sure Anna would be so happy if you told her.
Yeah, I'm busy on Valentine's Day. So's fam.
I've got a date with Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
This
is
is a prequel, though, right? Like you
I-
just play
yeah.
as Ellie with her friend.
yeah, it's
really?
kind of a it's kind of a
It was,
what's it called?
it was
Yeah, pretty-
before Ellie got bitten.
Yeah, I guess it's leading up to the
Spoilers?
point that she
I
did.
don't know.
Well, you find
Oh,
out she
no,
got bitten
yeah.
fairly early on in the game, didn't you?
Yeah.
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 She got bitten.
Like,
Yes.
you find out within like 10 minutes of starting the game.
Wow, spoilers.
Well, if you haven't played it by now, play
I
it.
haven't got
Because we're going to spoil the rest of it throughout the rest of the podcast.
Everyone dies.
So I don't have
man.
the sound box. What's it called? Sound board. I don't have the
Soundboard.
soundboard plugin for TeamSpeak because I did reinstall Windows. So Neil, can you do your normal little news jingle because we're moving on to the news?
Do. The news.
Close enough.
That is so good.
That's
know,
pretty
right?
much what we would use normally, if I'm honest. So, first piece of news I have. Does anyone else have any news?
What's news?
The Xbox One outsold the PS4 in the US in December.
I don't believe that.
It's true,
Don't believe it.
but it's true.
Are you gonna believe it?
Nope. I refuse to.
It's true.
You don't want to. Yeah.
Okay, so my first piece of news. Do you have a source for that, Neil? Like, let's talk about that.
I'm reading it from MCV, which is a. Hold on, bear with me. You can hear my mother in the background. She's calling my brother, and she keeps calling him.
He's not responding.
The Williamson household is a shouty household.
Yep, it is. Oh my god, will you please be quiet? Right. Yeah, it's from the MCV magazine online, and they're the one that Game use for all their information.
Okay. Game is the leading retail for video game sales in the UK, for those interested.
December MPD group figures released today revealed that Xbox One was the #1 selling console in the market in the US, selling 908,000 units in December.
Okay. Still don't believe it. So
What's the next gen consoles like? $2,000 in South America when they first came
in
out?
Brazil, I think specifically, the Xbox One was normal price, but the PlayStation 4 was like $2,000, and that's because Brazil has really high import tax. So Microsoft made a factory in Brazil so they could sell the Xbox One for cheap, but PlayStation had to import them.
Just to add on to that little point that I made, Sony did say though that they literally sold all the consoles in retail over there, but due to supply issues, that is why they didn't sell that as much
in the US.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that only one person bought a PS4 in Brazil.
Really?
One person.
through Brazilian things. A lot of people said that they could. Fucking hell, that cat! Shut up. This is the worst podcast. Like, everyone has background noise of some sort. She's calling for your dog. No. So what was I going to say? A lot of people figured that they could fly to the States, spend a weekend there, buy a PS4 and fly back for the same price or cheaper.
Probably cheaper.
Yeah, like $2,000. It probably only cost maybe $400 or something for a return to the States. It's not very far at all. To Florida or
Probably
whatever.
do it in 800.
Wait, $2,000? What are you on about?
$2,000 in Brazil. A PlayStation 4 costs $2,000.
Are you serious?
Because you weren't listening at all. The Xbox One costs. The Xbox One. The Xbox One costs like a normal price that you'd expect, but the PlayStation 4 costs about $2,000, and that's because of they have really high import tax. So in Brazil, so the Xbox made a factory there, so they could sell them really cheap. But PlayStation had to import them to sell them, so nobody bought them because they were $2,000 because of the import tax was so high.
Hold on.
Wow.
You're telling me that Ellie got bitten?
You know what, guys? You know what? I quit. I quit.
Oh, poor Neil.
Okay. Moving on to my first piece of news. AMD. Does anyone here use AMD hardware? I know I do. Hannah does.
I will be with my new gaming computer when I get one.
I do not.
You do not? You have Nvidia and Intel?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My laptop's NVIDIA and Intel.
Shut up, Hannah. We're trying to find all the people that use AMD.
Well, I
It's
use my-
just me and Hannah's desktop. Sorry,
Raspberry Pi got an AMD processor in it.
I think it has an extra processor developer that doesn't make PC developers. I don't know. I'll look into it. Not right now.
My PC processor is AMD as well. Yeah.
So AMD are developing. I mean, Intel have their Intel HD graphics, which is built into the processor, and that's all well and good. But AMD are developing APUs, which are processors that have like gaming level graphics built into the processor, so you can run. And I watched a video of a guy running Crysis 3 on the pretty low settings, like the lowest settings at 720p, so it still didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
On this thing, and it's only $200, so that's kind of like a huge jump into the gaming world for $200 for a processor, and you don't need to buy a graphics card. Is that something you could see yourselves doing in future? Did you build your computer, Joe, or is it a pre-built one?
Pre-built. I'm not really into
You're not really into
PC
that?
gaming. Nah.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. If you could play consoles to play a lot of the games that you do, like your Wii U and stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But
I would definitely try and get one of those processors because I am so annoyed with the AMD graphics cards.
every graphics card that we buy, the fan seems to break at the moment.
Yeah, I mean my fan isn't working as good as. Maybe it's because you have to clean it like
Which we
every
never do.
couple months, which we've never done. But I just find that it just progressively breaks over like a short amount of time.
Well, I just thought that was a cool bit of, gaming. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily news to a lot of people. I just thought it was a cool advancement into the future of gaming being, you know, this smaller. Sorry, I've got like hiccups. This smaller, like, you know, form factor where you can just have your graphics card and your processor all in this one processor-sized chip.
That is
Did
cool,
you
yeah.
use a normal graphics card with it as well to make it more?
No, it's one or the other. Like if you put in a graphics card,
okay.
it won't use the processor's graphics card or
Okay.
graphics features or whatever.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
Well, it just means if you plan on using a graphics card, then don't buy an APU, just buy a normal CPU. Next bit of news would be Valve's Steam Dev Days, which is a development show ran by Valve in Seattle at their headquarters, only for developers, no press is allowed. And the entire, most of it, I looked at their agenda, and most of it was about, like, put your game to Linux, you should put your game in Linux, hey, you should put your game in Linux. And, you know, do you guys ever see yourself switching to Linux as a main operating system? I guess, again, this doesn't really apply to Joe, because he's not really a PC gamer. I have some non-PC gamer news, don't worry. But
If
go on.
if games start getting released on Linux,
Yep.
like maybe some, like not just indie games, maybe some.
That's the main thing, isn't it? It's just in
Yeah.
games.
Sorry, hold on 1 sec.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
change to Linux.
I
It
would
looks
too.
Better.
I would. Yeah, I love the look of Ubuntu and stuff like that. And I can't wait for that to happen. I mean, the main thing for me is I use all of Adobe's like software for video editing and photo editing and all that shit, and it's just not that one. I don't think that will ever be available on Linux.
No,
And,
and probably not even like a good enough
there's
alternative.
GIMP, which is a good free alternative.
Oh right.
But
Yeah.
that's only for photo editing. That doesn't do
Yeah.
video. There's Audacity works on Linux, I believe.
Oh, that's
Just
cool.
no video editing. That's the problem. Neil, you've been very quiet.
I've been reading.
You're so fucking. You do this every week. Last week you were just barely talking. I know
No,
before.
it's because I'm reading news, trying to find something interesting to say.
Just listen to our news. Do this before the podcast.
I'm listening and then I'm reading at the same time.
So how do you feel about what we what we're just saying?
About Linux.
Yeah. How would you see yourself?
Personally, I've never really looked at Linux that much at all. Like personally, I've not really been interested like you guys have been.
Do you feel that moving to a free operating system is a good thing?
I suppose so, but I know I love Windows.
You love Windows.
I don't know. I've always had Windows, and I can trust Windows. I suppose if it's free, is Linux open source?
Yes.
So I suppose there's more you can do with it. Then a lot more you can do with it.
A lot more. Like there's so much you can do with it. And what's great about Linux is you can run a virtual box inside of it and usually run most Windows programs. It's just it doesn't work very well for games.
But you can't. Can you run most? You can't run most games on it, can you?
A lot of games don't run on it though.
See that? Yeah. Then there you go. Until that happens, then yeah.
I think the
stay away
Steam
from it.
box is. Sorry, yeah, that's what Steam Dev Days was kind of pushing for, and same with the Steam box, Steam Machine. What are they called? Steam Machine or Steam Box? I remember they changed it to one or the other.
The Steam Circle.
Steam Circle. All right, well I'll move on because this is clearly not a very hot topic for you guys. What about Nintendo's sales not looking so hot?
I heard about this.
Yeah.
The Wii U didn't sell very well, did it?
No, 2013 sales for the Wii U were very bad, and go on.
The reason why I think that it didn't do so well with the Wii is because everyone got a Wii, pretty much. Like, not everyone, but a lot of people did get them. And to be honest with you, not much has changed with the Wii U, just you've got a slightly different controller.
And they don't release many games for it at all.
I mean, the controller thing is fair. The controller thing is fair. It's the actual platform itself isn't too different. It's mainly just the controller. But in terms of releasing games, like, it's not their fault. The developers and it's kind of their fault. But publishers just don't want games to be on the Wii U because it's just a lot of extra work for something that not a lot of people are going to buy. And the Wii U, there's a lot of games starting. Like, it's starting to pick up a little bit, the Wii U, but it's just they haven't marketed it very well. Like a lot of especially parents, the people that would buy Wii U's for their kids,
Yes.
just think that the Wii U is just the controllers are peripheral. They think it's a new part for the original Wii,
Hmm.
Mm.
and I think that's their biggest problem. But sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say they're hoping that Super Smash Brothers and the new Zelda would increase sales prices, but I mean not prices, but sales in general.
I
don't
think-
know.
I think they helped, but not necessarily as much as they would need or as much as they hoped, perhaps. I don't know. But Nintendo slashed their earning expectations dramatically from 9 million sales to 2.8 million, which is
Oh dear.
huge cut in what they think they're going to make.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate.
So what do you guys think for the future of Nintendo? Do you really think they're going to be sticking to developing consoles? I mean, I think they're always going to be making handheld consoles like the DS. Like, those
I
things sell like
personally-
hotcakes.
Yeah, I think the handheld ones are what they need to stay in.
Yeah.
They can't. I don't think they can compete with PlayStation and.
But what
and
what
Xbox.
what do you think that means for a lot of their titles? Let's say they decide to move out of the living room space. Do you think that they would do you think they would say, okay, the next Zelda game will be out on the Xbox One? Do you think that ever would happen?
I don't think
know.
so.
I don't think so.
No, you think they would just say the new Zelda game will only be out on the DS?
Yeah, I can't see it being on Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see if they did. I think what they should perhaps consider doing is you know that Vita TV thing?
The what? Sorry.
The Vita TV, the PlayStation Vita TV.
Yeah.
The little thing that you put your Vita cartridges in and can play it on your TV with a PlayStation controller. I think what would be cool is if they did that, like something like that for the DS. Something cheap
That would be good.
that
Yeah.
just plugs into your TV and it splits your TV in half, shows the top and the bottom monitor, and you use an actual DS to control it.
That'd be alright. I reckon that would.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would work quite well.
I think
You
that.
know,
Go on.
I think also why the Wii U didn't do so well is because Xbox has Kinect, and I mean, okay, the Kinect wasn't great with the 360, but with the Xbox One, I've had like the Kinect is much better. It doesn't need so much space and stuff. So I think if Nintendo want to compete with the newer consoles, they need to go hands-free.
In terms of, well, PlayStation has PlayStation Move, which you need a PlayStation Move controller for. In a similar way,
Yeah.
you need the Wii mode.
Yeah.
No, I know, but they worked better than the Wii.
It works a lot
ones,
better
so-
because, yeah.
Oh.
Well, it'd just be interesting to see where they move. I mean,
But Nintendo have always really advertised to kids. They're not really advertising to teenagers.
they
No.
advertise to kids and people that are used to play their games as kids. So, like,
Yeah,
nostalgic
yeah.
people.
Exactly. But kids, they don't want a big controller in their hands, like to look at the screen. They want to be able to move around. That's why the Wii did so well, is because it's moving around, getting your energy out, and
And it was cheap as
fun.
fuck.
It's interactive. So what they need is, like Kinect, but cheaper, because I mean, little kids aren't going to be getting an Xbox One for the Kinect.
Well, they will.
Because-
They'll play Call of Duty.
But
Of course.
I'm talking about little kids,
I know what
like
you mean.
8-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, 9-year-old is really the age that people play Call of Duty, so I see your point. But yeah, no, I see your point. Like, they just want, yeah, the Wii was really popular because
If
of
you're a
it.
kid and you see the Wii and the Wii U and you don't know what's older and newer, the one that you're going to get more excited about is the Wii because it's more moving around. It's more
So
interactive.
Okay, so yeah.
You really think that the motion controls is what made the Wii a really high-selling unit?
I
I
think
think
so,
so.
definitely.
Absolutely, it was
like
because
this.
it was proprietary at the time. Like, it was this brand new
Yeah.
thing. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? You can move, like, you move, and it affects the game. And
Uh-huh.
they didn't necessarily they didn't get rid of it at all. It's still in the Wii U, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the main person playing uses that Wiimote, the Wiimote with the screen,
Screen,
and
yeah.
it's just not designed as much around the movement as it is around the touching the screen. And it's a great bit of kit, the Wii U, but it's just, I don't know. I just think that Nintendo haven't done as well as they could have. I think something's gone wrong, and I think that's quite clear in that their sales aren't doing great. But hopefully
They
they pull it
brought
out of the bag.
They brought out that little. They brought out another handheld, didn't they? It was like a 3DS
2DS.
2 or something.
2DS.
It was just
The
the
one that
3DS.
doesn't fold, yeah, and it doesn't have 3D.
Yeah, and it was just a cheaper one, wasn't it?
I considered buying one. And then I thought I'd rather spend the extra X amount on an actual 3DS. And then I thought, I don't want either.
No.
I don't think I'd use it.
Those kind of games would be like games that I'd play on an iPad. Little tiny.
Oh, I mean, I
Games.
kind of want one because I spend... Well, I mean, when I was considering it, I used to spend a lot more time on the bus. With my new job, I don't as much. But I used to spend like 3 hours a day on a bus. And now that I don't do that, I can kind of see no point in having one. I spend maybe
Yeah.
an hour and a half on a bus now. But still, I think it'd be quite a cool little thing to have to play like Animal Crossing. I love that game.
Animal
Yeah,
Crossing
I like
does
that.
look good, yeah.
And Harvest Moon, but there isn't a new one of them. Is there a new one of them for the 3DS? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No?
If there is, I've never heard of it.
I love Harvest Moon as well. That was a fantastic game.
I've never played it.
Did you guys know Slender was coming to Xbox and PS3?
No, but thanks for that
Yay.
topic-full conversation.
I just thought I'd mention something.
Well, that would be in the next segment of our podcast, which is about game releases, but this one is about news.
This is news, isn't it?
No. No, it's not. Okay, how about this rumour?
I love a rumour.
This may have been confirmed or debunked since I found out about it a few days ago. I haven't had a chance to look it up. There's a rumour that Microsoft will be offering $3 for every 1,000 views of a YouTube video. So let's say I upload a YouTube video of me playing the Xbox One and talking about the Xbox One.
Uh-huh.
I will get $3 for every 1,000 views it gets
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
from
So what's
It's
Microsoft.
a really good deal, I think.
What? So if you're doing like recording footage,
Let's say I'm playing Dead Rising, the new one, because that's on Xbox
Yeah.
One. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a really good game. I really like the Xbox One. Blah blah blah. Xbox One. Blah blah blah. Xbox One. Then you'll get. Well, I mean, I don't think it has to be that obvious. I think you could just play the Xbox One and kind of show that
Just
it's
give your
enjoyable.
opinion.
Yeah, show that it's
That's
enjoyable.
mental.
And
Because
A positive opinion probably helps.
yeah.
Achievement Hunter, they play on the Xbox One. They play Xbox games mostly, and they get like they've got like 2 million subscribers.
There was
So-
the article I read about it implied that there was a limit as to how much you could earn.
Oh.
Like that you could only earn like
Of course.
$3,000 per video or something, which is still
Yeah.
fantastically large amounts
Yeah.
of money. But I mean, would that? Let's say you had a fairly good sized YouTube channel. I mean, you know, to a point that you were getting a few thousand views per video. Would you?
Yeah.
Would you consider getting an Xbox One at that point?
No.
No, not even if you knew it would increase your income almost substantially.
Yeah, of course you would. You wouldn't be stupid.
Well, I don't really want an Xbox One though.
If you're going to get paid a lot of money from it, I don't think you'd complain.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of good games on the Xbox One, and you'd be getting paid more money to play those good games.
Yeah, you could still play your PlayStation.
Absolutely. You just have to say it's not as good as the Xbox One every time you play it. You have to turn it on
Yeah,
and go,
you know.
this game is not as good as the Xbox One.
Yeah, and then
So-
I put a little star at the bottom about how, it's not necessarily true.
Like a thing that just shouts out at the bottom and just goes, this game would be better if it were released on the Xbox One.
You know, I mentioned that these people Achievement Hunt.
Yeah.
They play Xbox One. They get 1 million views on every video.
Yeah, it's like the Yogscast get like 3 or 4
So-
million.
Yeah.
PewDiePie, I don't even want to know how many he gets.
He lives
I
in
don't really-
Brighton.
He does live in
He
Brighton.
does.
We had this conversation.
Very close to where
Yes.
JJ New and Hannah live.
Not
For
very
those-
close.
Well, very close compared to most of the
Yeah.
world.
PewDiePie.
Like me and
In
Joe
Canada's
live,
standards
as I say.
America's standards, it's very, 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 very close.
Me
Okay.
and
Oh,
Joe
I still think it's very close either way.
had to get a few planes together. So that's an interesting insight as to what the future of gaming content creation may be, in that people may be getting paid by companies to play their game or on their game console. I just thought that was an interesting insight. The next one I have on my news list, this I just thought was ridiculous. All of you know I'm a big fan of the Walking Dead point-and-click adventure game.
Huh?
Yep.
Have you know about that, Joe?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
I was actually watching one of your videos the other day.
I have videos of that.
Yeah, you were playing it.
Oh,
Old ones
Yeah.
fair
from the
enough.
first. Yeah. Do you not remember that?
Nope. Now, apparently, the Walking Dead point-and-click adventure game by Telltale Games. I like saying the full name. The Walking Dead point-and-click adventure game by Telltale Games is being used in a classroom in Norway to teach ethics.
How old? How old people?
High school students,
Oh, okay, that's right. If it was like 3.
like in a higher age range of high school students, so maybe 16. I thought that was absolutely nonsense.
No, well, it could be nonsense, but you've got to think that in those situations when the world has gone to like crap and you know you don't.
Zombies
really...
aren't real, Hannah.
No, I know zombies aren't real, but you never know.
What?
Go on, Hannah.
You never know what could happen. Like, I'm talking about even if a natural disaster happens. You know, when the
Let's
world.
say zombies aren't there, the way you treat people may be similar to the way that
Yeah,
a dystopian
in a
future
stressful
may be.
situation, you're not going to think as rational as you normally would. So, you've got to, like, if you're trying to put yourself in their position, how would you respond to that? I mean, everyone responds differently. So I guess that's kind of relevant, but I think
it's a
kind of
game
stretching,
that
pushing
kind of
it.
I think it's the kind of game that kind of you have to, you have to kind of be ethical about it. But the fact of the matter is, I feel that it's just like there's so many better. I think the video showed the teacher just like sitting on a desk watching some kids play it, and I just the way I looked at it was like, this teacher is obviously fresh out of uni, because you could tell just by looking at him that he was not much older than us. And he was just fresh out of uni, and it was his first class that he got to teach, and he just didn't want to fucking do anything. Like, oh, as a young teacher, trying all this hip new, fuck off. Bollocks.
I reckon he just wanted to play it.
Sorry?
I reckon he just wanted to play it.
I reckon he had played it through, thought it was, like, I've played it through, and I want other people to play it through so I could talk to them about it. I reckon he just played it through and wanted 31 people in his class to talk to him about it.
How do you know how many people were in his class?
I don't know, that's just I remember when I was in primary school, there were 31 people in my class.
Oh, well done.
I don't think there could be better ways to do it, but
And, well, I mean, something that I thought was interesting was they had this, like, a website or like a poll type thing up where there would be, where every time the person playing the game, because it wasn't the teacher playing, it was one of the students, every time the game came up with a question, each student would, like, because it was in Norway, so they all had loads of money and they were in laptops, and they would all select an answer on the laptop, like A, B, C, or D, or whatever. And then at the end of the class, they would all discuss about why they came to the conclusion about their certain choices. But I still thought that's just such a, I just feel like it's a lazy way to teach. Like, I like seeing Minecraft being used in classes, but to an extent,
Yeah.
it's still kind of just like, you have these proven methods of teaching kids, but let's teach them how castles are made by building one in Minecraft. So that's no.
also with The Walking Dead, I find it doesn't really matter what answer you say.
That's true
if
as
the
well.
story
Walking Dead
so
is
linear.
just secretly
Is that
linear.
it? I don't know how you say that word.
What were you looking for?
Linear. I can't remember how you say that word.
Okay. Hannah's forgotten English, that's fine.
No, I don't like. Don't worry.
We'll figure it out later.
So the kids just watched him play it?
They
in
watch
class?
one of the students, like, it's a different student playing it, it wasn't the teacher. And they all
Okay.
watch with their laptops in front of them, and they all select what they would have chosen because like you have a character that says like blah 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 blah, and then Lee's supposed to respond one of the 4 options. So the kids pick which option they would say, and at the end of the class they show like, most of you said you would have punched that guy, or some of you said you would have walked away, or whatever, and they discuss how they got to that conclusions, which I think is it's a good way of getting everyone involved and figuring out, like, showing good situations where you kind of you try to care in, like, you watch Walking Dead or you play it. I mean, I played it, Hannah watched me play it, and both of us seemed to get this, like, raw emotion from it that
Yeah.
you just wanted
Yeah.
to
But
care.
if you're
And I think if you're watching them, someone play the game, you have this, you want to care more than, let's say you were watching a movie or some really shitty made movie that is made for that purpose from a low budget company that makes educational movies, and it's gonna be like trying to show like similar stuff, but and then the kids have to pick their own answers. They may not care as much as if it were this super in-depth zombie game, you know?
Yeah, but with high school students, we're given these options where they can go hit a guy over the head. You know what I mean? They can do extreme things. They try to be funny in front of their friends, and they'll just go for the joke.
But it was all anonymous, so what's the point? Like, what's the point in being...
Because they know it will get read out and that people will laugh still.
Okay, fair enough, but I think, okay, yeah, I see a point. People try to do stuff just to be funny. One of you said you would, walk off the cliff or whatever, yeah.
And then everyone will go,
oh, Steve. Typical Steve. Okay. So, I personally feel that that's a bit nonsensical, but well, you know what you're going to do. Teachers are going to try different things. I think it was Minecraft being used in schools was also around the Scandinavian area. Crazy.
Which I think is cool.
I think it can be cool. I think there's, these games can be kind of educational, but what I love is that on the one hand you have kids getting suspended from school for playing, for some kid in America, some like 8-year-old got suspended for eating his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun.
I saw that.
But then
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious, 100% serious. There was an article about it that I read. He was somewhere in the States. He got suspended or taken at least to the principal's office and maybe sent home for the day because he ate his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun.
Did he do it intentionally though?
I think so. Like, I think maybe he held it as if it were a gun. But so you have that on the one hand, where of course they're going to blame video games for that. But
of course,
on the other hand, you have teachers actually invoke it, like saying, "Hey, you should play this game.
Yes.
You will learn ethics by hitting a zombie with an axe." You know.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, moving on to the next piece of news that I have, and the final piece of news that I have. SimCity Offline is coming to a SimCity near you.
I might play it.
Because you bought it, didn't you?
I did buy it.
How about you, Neil? Did you buy it?
yeah, I did buy it.
How about you, Joe? Did you buy it?
No.
Okay. As someone who hasn't bought it, would you feel more inclined to buy it now that you can play it offline?
That's never been a problem for me, offline or online. I have the internet connection to do what I want. Though I do know there are a few places that don't have internet. I think, at least they
It's
have
not
the
really-
option now.
It's not really you having internet the problem though. A lot of the problem was the servers.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, the servers were quite bad.
Servers were the issues.
Servers were
Yeah.
bad, and I mean,
If they were doing maintenance,
if they're doing maintenance, you just couldn't play the game.
you couldn't play because the servers were down.
For a game that can very easily be run in can very
Yes.
easily be single player, the fact that they
So
made it
is
only
this
multiplayer.
just like added on to the online portion, or
It's
do you
just
have
a
to buy
patch,
this
isn't it?
again?
No, it's
Oh,
just a patch. The
patch.
next patch is just gonna make it so when you start up, you can click a button that says single player instead of like multiplayer.
Well, like in that case, why not play it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm interested in buying it, mainly because when you go on like a road trip or you go like for Christmas, I went across the country from Toronto to Nova Scotia, Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is a 30-hour bus ride. If I had a laptop, SimCity would have been the perfect game for that kind of journey,
Yeah.
Hopefully next time I'll get a plane though, because that was horrible.
Did you just say Nova Scotia was across the country from Toronto?
No, like it's a good chunk across the country, not necessarily across the country entirely.
Okay.
I'm aware that the country is bigger than Toronto and Nova Scotia. When I first moved to Toronto from Nova Scotia, though, I looked up. I would always just say, I was about halfway between the country, like in the middle. And I looked up and realised there's a lot more west of me than there is east of me.
Ah, yeah.
This country is way too big.
Yeah.
You should split it in half.
Considering how the plane journey was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
quite. Yeah. Like if you go from England.
If you go on a plane for 2.5 hours, you'd be in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Well, it depends what direction you go.
Well, of course. But if you're going over Europe.
Yeah, I was thinking
could
going
be-
west rather than east.
You
No,
were going to Canada.
I was thinking like where if you're in England, you go to Europe quite a bit, right?
Well, not the ocean. I used to go to the ocean. Yeah.
Well, that's what you did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
isn't
remember
it?
when I was a kid, I went to like Spain on holiday, and it was only 2.5
Yeah.
hours to get to Spain.
Yeah, you could get to Italy.
And then
or
it's
somewhere.
8 hours to get to America.
Yeah.
11 hours to get to Toronto.
I really like the long
It's
flight.
not 11 hours.
11 hours? No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
It's
How long was
7.
it? 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
7-8 hours.
You got me worried then.
Do you not like the
11
long journey
hours.
to America, JJ?
I do. Well, 8 hours, I think, is just about manageable. 11 hours is different.
That's how.
Like,
Like,
That's
if
what.
it's overnight, you can sleep, and then you've also got the choice to watch the TV.
There you
Well,
go.
yeah. Depends who
But
you're
you're
flying
going
with,
to
though.
New York as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's
New
9,
York.
10
You
hours.
go to JFK, yeah?
No, New York should be closer. New York's a bit closer than Toronto.
No, it's not. But I remember.
Well, in terms
it
of
was-
as the crow flies, New York is closer to the UK than Toronto is.
About a 9-hour flight, isn't it?
But when I was coming back from New York, because we flew to Florida and then we flew from Florida to New York and then we flew from New York back to England, so that was like a one-way flight. So that took 10 hours, I think.
I'll look it up. Like, I'll look up flights after the show. I'll look up flights and see how long that takes. We're kind of
But
just
you-
off topic here, talking about random shit. Joe's just silently listening.
No,
Have you
I'm
ever
sure
not
you like me
silently.
in the podcast, mate.
What's the longest flight you've ever taken, Joe?
Yeah.
From where I live right now to Egypt, which was about 21 hours, maybe?
Joe wins.
I went to Australia once.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay.
Good story.
That's about 10 hours, I think.
So SimCity is available on Origin, and as of the next update, it will be available to play on single player.
Right.
And you'll be able to still do the whole multiple town thing, just not you won't be able to share an area with your friends. I don't know if you'll be able to port a town to multiplayer or whatever, but that'd be interesting to see.
You have to pay extra for that.
Probably.
Bloody EA.
And now, for the final segment of the show where we talk about future releases for the next week or so in gaming,
Okay, so.
I actually have a calendar here. I'm prepared.
Well, hey.
I'll
You're
link
not the
it
only
to
one,
you.
bro. Oh, whoa.
I guarantee mine's better because it was compiled by someone on Reddit.
Dark Souls 2.
It's only PC releases though, this thing. No, it's not.
Ah.
That's over the next week, is it? Dark Souls 2?
No, it's in March.
Ah, March. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if we'll have you back on the show anytime soon. I mean, you're welcome to if we have any space. But what games are you looking forward to over the next few months, Joe? Other than Dark Souls 2, of course.
So, of course, yeah, Dark Souls 2, and then, I don't know, I guess there is the new Super Smash Brothers game I'm really looking forward to.
Okay.
There's a new Tales of game, which is coming out. I think Tales of Exilia 2 is coming out, another JRPG game. And... oh, man, I really don't know. What else is coming out?
Okay. We've got Watch Dogs coming out this year.
Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to, which I pre-ordered last year, expecting it to come out in November.
Where did you pre-order it, JJ?
Where did I pre-order it? Amazon.
Oh.
Fable Anniversary. I'm looking through here. Far Cry Classic.
Where's this?
This is I just linked it on the TeamSpeak.
I can't see it, these games you're talking about.
I'm just clicking like next month. I'm in March now. Dark Souls 2
Oh, I
comes
thought
out
we
on
were
the
doing the
30th
next
of
few
March.
weeks.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to just look over. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes comes out on the 18th of March. Very excited for that. Let's go back to January. This week,
You've only got 2 games here.
starting
though.
tomorrow, there are only 2 games coming out during this
Well.
week.
No, I would disagree with that.
Would you know?
Yeah.
What would you say is coming out?
I'd say that Kickbeat is coming out on the 20th,
Uh-huh.
which is it's coming out on PC. It's just like a It's a 3D like fighter.
But
Bit like,
what website are you using? Because every time we use any website that you use, you start listing games that have been out for like a year and a half.
This is Eurogamer.net.
I don't know. Lucifer's Ring comes out on Tuesday for the PlayStation 3. Anyone interested in that? Anyone know what that is?
I've never even heard of it.
How about you, Joe? You know what that is?
What was it called?
Lucifer's Ring.
No. What kind of game is it?
I will bring up the article right now.
It looks like an MMO.
An MMO for the PS3? That doesn't sound...
No, it looks.
There's no page for it on...
Very good.
It's made by
It sounds
Toshiba.
interesting.
Published by Monkey Paw Games.
Never even heard of them.
Me neither.
Is it really coming out on the PS3?
That's what it says here on this article here, PS3. And the Mac release for Blackguards,
Which I've never heard of.
which I've never heard of either.
There are a few MMOs on the PS3 though, like Final Fantasy XIV and DC Universe.
Yeah? Are they any good?
Really? No.
You sounded like you had this kind of unsure...
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
There's a game on Steam coming out.
Oh yeah, what game's that?
Called Insurgency.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's kind of a realistic
Uses the Steam engine.
source.
Indeed.
Steam engine would be a really good name for the source engine, though.
It would be. It would be. I didn't even realise I just got that wrong. Steam engine.
Source.
But yeah, it looks good. It looks kind of the videos that they use, kind of like Battlefield, kind of realistic.
I think, as I say, I think it's kind of meant to be a more realistic,
Yeah.
like on the spectrum of shooting games, leaning more towards the more realistic side.
But it looks really good.
I think it was originally a mod for something.
And don't get me wrong. Well, I don't know if it's
I want to get you wrong.
from these videos I've been watching. It's some like modern day warfare and early warfare. Because like in the first video, it shows some like war kind of
Use
weapons.
your words. It uses war kind of weapons.
World War II.
World War II. You said war. I only heard war kind of weapons. And
then-
World War II is early warfare, is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, earlier than
Earlier than today, anyway.
yeah. But I could be wrong.
Well, it'd be interesting to see.
But yeah, it looks quite good.
I just thought of another game I played.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Let me go on my Steam, take a look. It begins with R. Rising Storm. Red Orchestra Rising Storm.
What is that?
It's a first-person World War II game, and it's really difficult, and I don't like it because it's difficult.
Oh, it's the one that you gave me and Neil.
I gave you and Neil a copy.
I heard that was a good game.
Thank you for
It
that.
is.
Paul.
It's really good. Yeah, it's just really difficult. Like, it's super realistic.
Yeah, isn't it like if you get shot in the leg, your leg becomes unusable or something
I
like
only
that?
ever got shot in the face, so I wouldn't know about that.
But that
And then what
tends to
happened?
kill you.
Yeah, I died, yeah. But other than that, unless there's anything else you guys have to share with the show, I think there's time that we end the show today.
I think that
But now,
they're there.
I just want to mention this to Joe. We have a Minecraft server that we are starting to invite podcast guests onto to just play. It's a vanilla server. You're more than welcome to join if you'd
You're
like.
inviting us lowly people?
Yep, you little people, weird people
Nice.
that we somehow find their way onto the TeamSpeak, so we invite them to the Minecraft server. It's a brand new Minecraft server using the latest snapshot. You're welcome to join if you're at all interested.
Sure, why don't you say the IP address so that everyone can hear it?
No.
because the whitelist isn't
The
working.
whitelist doesn't work. I had to turn it off because if no one could join.
Okay,
So otherwise I would.
of course.
Oh, I would happily. Like what? People are going to try and join. It'll say, no, you're not on the whitelist. Go home.
Go home.
Go home.
Go
So
outside.
At the end of the show, JJ normally plays us out with a song that we normally just use the same song. But JJ has decided he's going to go out of his way to find a new song, royalty-free, so we don't get sued.
Getting sued is fun.
Getting sued is my favourite pastime. So the bed that you've been hearing is by Disparition. Over the bed being played over the podcast, you can find that music at disparition.info. JJ, do you know the name and the artist of the song?
Yes.
What is it? The name of the artist of the outro that you're about to play?
Yes.
What is it?
It's oh my god, where is it? Azure Worm.
That's the artist, is it?
Yes.
That can be found at newgrounds.com.
And it's called Wolves.
Okay, you can find this podcast at podit.net and soon on iTunes. I was going to do that this weekend, but I didn't. JJ's already playing it. So, thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.